Adam, do you want to go first and just kind of talk about like what you think he'll bring to the role specifically? Or how you were wondering if they would change it too, if they would enlarge the role because of him.
Right, and I still think there's a good chance of that, and I'm going to defer to the mastermind of all things Hunger Games news, that being Theresa Morgan, and see what she has to say. But I do want to say that I think they will, just simply because of the fact of what they did with Seneca Crane, and then also that he's such a terrific actor. I mean, you really can't go wrong casting a best. We're now talking about a Best Actor Oscar winner of the recent era. So it's not just someone who won a long time ago. This is a person who is so respected by his peers that he took home the Golden Statue, 5 years ago, was it? Something like that, for Capote. And well-deserved, by the way. I don't think anyone was challenging the fact that he won that. That was not a political decision, as they are sometimes. So how can you not be happy about this? And I think as much screen time as they want to give him, the better, because he's just that good. So, let's go on to, since Theresa was referenced about 4 times by me, Theresa, what do you think about Philip Seymour Hoffman? And am I crazy for thinking that Plutarch might have a more significant role?
No, I don't think at all. I think they'll definitely beef it up because of what they did with Seneca. They need to continue to showcase, what they did with the first film, they need to continue to showcase outside of Katniss's perspective. And I think it'll really give an interesting viewpoint considering what we, eventually learn about Plutarch, to see what's going on in the game room and what's going on, in the background. I think they'd be crazy not to. So.
What is going on in the background? No, I'm just kidding. I heard some noise. I had to say that. No, I think you're absolutely right. Shylah, do you concur with your fellow website mate?
I'm super excited about Phil, who I'm going to call him right now because his whole name is really long to say. I have loved Phil since Twister, which is like one of my all-time favorite movies.
Woo, Twister!
And that it's like one of the best examples of him being a part of an ensemble cast and really, even though he had not a major role, I felt like he added so much character to that movie. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what kind of facial hair he gets. I'm hoping we get some awesome eyebrows on him because I feel like that would be a good way to go with his character. And I'm excited to see the back end of the rebellion, and I hope that the movie really expands on what's going on with him and Haymitch and maybe some of the other Victor mentors behind the scenes.
Great. I don't think it comes as a surprise that we're all happy about this. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who's not happy with the Philip Seymour Hoffman choice. But we're going to put that to the test with Natalie Zuter over here, who comes at this from a little bit of a different angle, working with Crushable. She's not so constricted by just Hunger Games fan interest. She's more of a general movie critic. And with that in mind, Natalie, is Philip Seymour Hoffman raising the bar for the Hunger Games franchise?
Oh, I think completely. I can't really do much else than agree with you that, I think he, especially because he was the first official casting, even though, the whole Jenna Malone thing came up first, I think he's definitely going to impress people. I'd be curious to see if how his casting affects the rest of the casting of the other, tributes. Obviously I wouldn't be surprised if they went with a lot of unknowns, but I'd be curious if more big names came in or someone like Jenna Malone, who as far as we know has been offered the role but is still in talks. It'd be interesting if his casting was the push that brought in other big name actors. No, definitely, and I like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say he's so widely respected in Hollywood. I think it would be very difficult to find an actor who didn't admire him.
And especially the fact that he'll be in Catching Fire, Mockingjay. I'm trying to remember. I haven't read Mockingjay in over a year. I think Plutarch would be in both parts, depending where they cut it.
Yeah,
regardless, I feel like he's. Obviously you're going to have Jen, Josh, and Liam, anchoring the next movies as the young stars bringing in the young viewers. But I also feel like it'll be good to have the continuity of him in multiple, of Philip Seymour Hoffman in multiple films, especially because I don't know how much they're going to follow the books and how much we see Woody Harrelson and like Elizabeth Banks as the books go on, because I feel like Effie just sort of disappears as I remember.
Yeah, no, definitely. And again, not to be repetitive here, but I just feel like this is a slam dunk choice. The real question I would have had is, does Philip Seymour Hoffman want to be in the movie? Obviously he does, and I think this is just great. And I encourage people, I know a lot of the listeners to the show and a lot of the fans of the franchise, you may be younger and you may not have seen Philip Seymour Hoffman in as many things as all of us have. But really, please listen to what Theresa and Shylah and Natalie are saying, because there's a reason they're such a big fan of his work. He really is an exceptional actor. Which leaves us with, we have two more opinions. We'll see if it's going to be unanimous support. Let's go. We'll save Kait for last. So, Crystal,
Yes.
You've seen many movies. I don't know if you've ever been on set with Philip Seymour Hoffman. I know you've been an extra in a lot of films and a lot of shows. What's your take on him? Full take, now that it's settled.
I'm pretty happy. I mean, at first when we talked about it, we did like this casting piece on him for Mockingjay, and I was kind of leery because the last thing I could remember him in was Mission Impossible, and he was really creepy. But I mean, when I think back to all his roles, I think the best thing about him is that he just seems to melt into his roles, and then you can't even, like, I don't know, he just seems to just be his character. So I'm pretty happy in that regard.